So when the whole Balthazar scandals came up and we started a channel later on, we thought it best not to bring back things that have already passed, like Let Sleeping Dogs Lie. But now we are discovering that another promiscuous rampage came up where we have Lily Phillips, who slept with 101 men in a day. So we have Baltazar, who slept with 400 women, and we have approximately 400 women, and we have Lily Phillips, who slept with 101 men in a day. Now, what caught my attention is that despite these two scenarios looking practically common, like identical in a way, the reactions online to these two individuals were very, very different. That is what we're dissecting today on this episode. This is the A-Report, and I'm your host, Doris. But before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe to Next Generation Media channel if you have not yet, so you don't get to miss out on any of our subsequent videos. So before we get into what was being said online, let's first look at the two cases, the two scenarios we are dealing with here. On one hand, we have Baltazar Ebang Ngonga. He was a high official in the Equatorial Guinea government. He was in charge of investigating fraudulent activities related to finances such as corruption. And the government believed that he was involved in certain fraudulent activities, and when they came to investigate him, the authorities discovered certain videos in his possession that were very, very disturbing. So approximately 400 videos of him having explicit actions with different women, some of which were high officials' wives as well, relatives to wives of his relatives. And so this was quite a controversy in Equatorial Guinea and Africa as a whole, because there were a lot of people involved, and consequently a lot of families being destroyed, a lot of names were being dragged to the mud. He was later locked up and then released. And on the other hand, we have Lillian Phillips, known as Lily Phillips, who is an Instagram model and has an OnlyFans account. The Instagram model decided that she wants to break the Guinness Book of Record for the most men slept with in a day. This record had been broken in 2002 by Lisa Spark, who slept with 919 men. And Lily Phillips, just to make sure that she could actually arrive at her goal, decided to do a test run. She slept with 101 men in a day in UK. She rented an Airbnb in UK and slept with 101 men. The entire thing was being documented. Let's watch a snippet of the entire show after she had finished sleeping with 101 men.
You know,
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all. I thought perhaps in years to come she may look back at this day in sadness, but not so instantly afterwards. She had stressed to me throughout my time with her how excited she was for this challenge and how this was her fantasy, so to see her so visibly upset at the end of it all was really sad. But my confusion was only added to in the days following our filming with Lily, as she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, 1,000 guys.
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
So after she had finished sleeping with 101 men, the cameras came and they were asking her questions, and many people were shocked to see her cry, because throughout the entire documentation from the beginning till the moment when she was having the ask the guy, she was laughing and being like she's so excited, she can't wait to actually go through with it. Then they switch after she was being asked certain questions, and she looked overwhelmed by everything that has happened. Gave people some hope that maybe she has come to her senses, like she won't push through with sleep with 1,000 men because she was already feeling the load of sleeping with 100 men in a day. But after some few days after, she released that she will be following through with sleep with 1,000 men in a day. And we can talk on and on about how unethical the actions performed by Lily Phillips and Balthazar were. But like I said, this episode, what caught my attention was basically when I came online and you are trying to find out about the entire issue, you see that people have a particular response to Lily Phillips, which is different from their response to Balthazar. And I came across this tweet that perfectly describes the double standard that is being used to judge these two cases. Let's take a look at that tweet. The tweet reads, Lily Phillips, a porn star who slept with 100 men in a day, says she regrets it. She says she only remembers about 10 guys, in bracket the first ones. After that, everything was a blur. Also meet Baltazar, a government official who made waves for allegedly having over 400 sex tapes with different women. On all tapes, you can tell he was enjoying every bit of the sex happening. Different scenarios between the two, but the thing is one can tell the more men a woman sleeps with, the more she regrets it. But for a man, the more women he sleeps with, the more he enjoys it. Lesson, men and women are not the same. Casual sex has far more damaging effects on women compared to men. So this is a tweet that started the entire deep search for me, because when we look at the Balthazar case, after the videos were being leaked, many people saw him as somewhat of a god. You say, like, he was being seen as a legend. People turned his pictures to their DP, people were posting on their status, people made t-shirts with his name, and songs were being released for this guy. And when the issue for Lily came out, total opposite. People were bashing and people were so upset about it, disgusted by the entire scenario. Granted that even in the Baltazar case, we found a lot of people who actually were not happy with the entire scenario and really disgusted by it. But the population, or let me say the percentage of disgust to the percentage of admiration was quite uneven for the Baltazar case. Like, there were more people that admired what he did than people that disliked what he did. And when we look at the Lily case, there are more people that actually dislike what she did than admire what she did. And I think this tweet could be the reason, like what he stated in the tweet could be the reason for that. It is sad to say and acknowledge, but it's actually the truth that when it comes to being promiscuous, when we look at men, it is more tolerated and sometimes even encouraged in men to be promiscuous than women. So when we look at the Lily Phillips case, obviously there was a hating for what she did. Like, people were totally disgusted. Granted, many men lined up to go have sex with her, but this men would not want to revisit her after this interaction. But for the Baltazar case, we can obviously state that many of those women who were involved with him would still want to be involved with him. Because not only men were praising Baltazar for his action, but actually women were lusting and actually very, very interested in meeting the Baltazar, the king, the legend, the myth, the whatever. But in Lily's case, you find out that men and women equally very, very disgusted, despite the fact that many showed up. In general, they would not want to be affiliated with a woman like Lily, apart from when it concerns the OnlyFans and all the products she posts online. And certain comments are being made concerning this particular tweet that was being posted were practically the icing on the cake. One person tweeted that Baltazar was glorified and even his wife that did 10% of what her husband did still got vilified. Because there was this rumor that passed that after his videos were leaked, some other videos of his wife were leaked, also being promiscuous. And people were really going after her and saying, you cannot do this, you cannot do this. But those same people did not have the same reaction to her husband. So this person is practically saying her husband did much more than what she did, but when she did something similar, the response was different. We're still getting to the point. Let's read more of the comments. Somebody else said, so true. Some people will try to argue, but this is the fact. The old analogy of a key which opens different locks is a master key, but a lock that can be opened by different keys is a damaged lock, will never fade meaning. And I remember that in the studio, I had this same conversation with many of the guys here at the studio, and they gave this same analogy when we're discussing about this entire case. So they're practically saying, women, the fact that you have had sexual relations with multiple men makes you damaged, but with men actually makes the man more preferable or more favored in the eyes of women. Someone else commented and said, promiscuous men are attractive and they have value, while promiscuous women are only attractive for sex and they have less value. Men and women are never the same. This begs us to ask the question, when it comes to the aspect of promiscuity, are we encouraging our young men to actually be more promiscuous because it makes them more attractive, and telling a woman that they should not be promiscuous because it reduces their value? And that is the million-dollar question of today, because in my perspective, I see it more like a morality versus value allocating issue, where there are certain moral standards that have been set by society, and instead of society saying that when these moral standards are broken or you go below these moral standards, your values should go down in the eyes of society, they have said, no, when men go down this moral standard, we are going to give them more value, our women go down this moral standard, we are going to give them less value. Now, my point actually is not the fact that we should try to be more tolerant of women. No. My point is that we are already doing such a good job at giving women the right reaction to when they go below this moral standing, like in the case of Lily Phillips. She had a lot of backlash from her actions. But we should also extend that same moral standing to the men in the society. This is not just about bringing men, it's about helping the next generation of men that we are trying to groom. Because granted that men have very different, men and women are very different in the way they react to sex and sexual partners. Their men can actually, like they said, it's a fact, men can be very casual with their sexual relations. But it will be very wrong for us as society to take this as now a way to be giving them trophies for how more casual they can get, rather than helping them get more responsible with their sexual decisions. Because with cases like the Baltazar, when he was sent out of prison and there was this entire celebration online, people were so happy that he had been released and all of that. Good for him, he's out. But the fact is, throughout the entire process of his videos being released, there was, instead of people focusing on making people or making the younger generation understand that this is not a standard you should be appreciating, they were instead giving praises to this thing. The same way that we are already doing such a good job, because I really like when I come online and I see when women make such terrible actions, cheat on their husbands, go out and have all these promiscuous actions, there is a serious backlash that is being put on men, and it is so good to have that backlash. But in the same way, we should extend that same reaction to when men perform such actions. We are understanding the difference, but we also have to understand that morality should not be grey at some point. We should not say promiscuity is wrong, but then yet again, we say that promiscuity in men should be rewarded. Because at the end of the day, we are making the line to not be very clear between the wrong and right when it comes to promiscuity. This is also a reason I believe the modern day feminists are trying to gain power in the aspect of promiscuity, because when you watch the documentary she made on YouTube about the entire 101 men she slept with, she had a point when she mentioned that the entire action of her being promiscuous is somehow an empowering thing for her. And this is something very popular in the Western countries, where women find the aspect of being promiscuous to be something that is empowering, because they have now seen that the society is rewarding this action in men, that they try to say, no, when a man is promiscuous, he is more powerful, he's being hailed, he's being seen as a legend, he's being seen as this. And women are feeling, no, then why are we taking the backlash? We want to actually get that power as well. And they are trying to be revolting, I would say. I think that is, in my perspective, what modern day feminisms are getting so badly wrong. They are trying to copy this lifestyle of, no, I want to be a man too, I want to be celebrated for being promiscuous, which is actually a very stupid thing. So I believe that as a society, if we extended the same level of backlash we give to women now, which is good, like I'll repeat that, which is good to men whenever such things pop up, then we'll be actually balancing the line when it comes to the aspect of promiscuity in the society. And then again, like I said, we really wish that Lily had learned her lesson from that encounter with 101 men after she had cried, and you could see that she was very overwhelmed by the entire incident. But then again, she went on and said she is still pushing through to sleep with 1,000 men in a day in February. And she sent out this video to, I don't know, encourage people to register in for being part of the 1,000 men. Let's watch that video.
I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, this isn't an easy task, finding 1,000 people. So, women, if you can lend me your husbands for the day, that would be amazing.
You heard Lily Phillips. Women, if you can lend her your husbands for a day, it would be amazing. She wants to break the record of the number of men you sleep with in a day. She's trying to do a very, very, I don't know, encouraging. We should all admire this, right? Are we not trying to promote promiscuity? We're saying it's a high value thing. Let's all support Lily Phillips. You may give your husband to Lily Phillips. Let her break this record. I honestly, if I was married, I might have given my husband, God forbid. Let's rebuke this. So Lily Phillips apparently has not learned from this her encounter. After the 101 men, she was practically crying and breaking down. And she had to put up back this facade of, oh, I'm enjoying this, I'm loving this is my life, oh, it's so amazing. Sleep with 1,000 men in a day is going to be so wonderful. Like, let us all just be real for once. I believe that even if some men came up and were very honest about the fact that they were maybe sleeping with so many women in the past, many men regret having that lifestyle. Okay, many men actually regret having gone through so many sexual partners in their past before actually settling down. There's no man that you see that has actually learned from his lesson that goes, oh yeah, I enjoyed my past life. I really like the fact that I slept with all these men in the past. Not only is it mentally distressing, but actually health-wise, it is a very dangerous action. And you can have many people online that will come and try to convince you that it's okay, it's right, you're actually empowering yourself. All those are just lies, okay? They are trying to make you feel better for the lives that is miserable. And you have also people that are online that are trying to promote this content, trying to make you feel like, no, go and be like, no, he's a legend, he said this, he said that, because they believe that the more they can make your life miserable, the more they can feel better about their lives. I really believe that people who come and support this such content online and push for it are people who have miserable lives themselves and are just looking to see your own life miserable. So when you come online and read their comments, you feel like maybe it's not such a bad idea. I could just try it, I might actually just go and have another sex partner, find another person to sleep with, get promiscuous, like just try things, it's empowering. No, people are out here trying to make your life more miserable than theirs, and they are looking for you as a scapegoat to do that. For people like Lily Phillips and Balthazar, we can only but wish redemption for them, but I really hope that some sort of miracle happens and she doesn't push through with sleep with 1,000 men next year, but that looks probably unlikely because she's going full force on it and making so many adverts. Balthazar, I hope after the entire case and the entire court case and everything, he does not push through with it. But when we find the comments that have been posted under his views and everything, you see it's practically not going to be the more likely option that he does not push through this, because he's seen that this action is being supported and favored. We are looking to see how things turn out for these two individuals. But most important, let's take home the message that promiscuity is morally wrong by society standards, and we should not be giving it double standards when it comes to the male and female gender. We're already doing such a great job with women. Let's also extend that job to the men as well. That's all for the video, guys. Let me know what you feel about this particular issue, about the Lily and Balthazar issue. Drop your comments down below. But before you go, make sure to like and subscribe to Next Generation Media channel if you have not yet, so you don't get to miss out on any of our subsequent videos. Bye.